This VTuber group debuted a 9-year-old. And before I get into this video, let us be crystal clear. I don't want any blaming of the child in this situation. They are 9. They are not old enough to consent to their likeness and image being used online, whether behind a virtual avatar or otherwise. They are not the ones at fault whatsoever here. So it all started with this post on December 8th, 2024 at 1 a.m. by an account called banana_VZ. And this is all in Thai because they debuted under a Thai VTuber group. So this is all translated using Google Translate. If there are any nuances that are missed due to the Google Translate, please let me know down below in the comment section. But the translation reads, "Hello, I'm Pim, Nana's nanny. My sister has sent a song for everyone.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake." Huh? ร้องยังไงนะ
Let's back this up. Do you see this? It says kid VTuber, 9 years old. But first off, to give some backstory, the VTuber Banana debuted under a VTuber agency by the name of Virtual Zevin. Virtual Zevin is a VTuber agency that is started by a VTuber by the name of Hori07. This is the VTuber in question, and they are a Thai VTuber that had started Virtual Zevin in around 2023. Virtual Zevin is a VTuber group that features the likeness of many different VTubers, doing a big variety of content, some of which being NSFW content. And we will touch upon that later. But as a result of some backlash they received online, Virtual Zevin 2 days later put out this post, writing announcement. So they do have an announcement doc in Thai, and they have another announcement doc in English. And it reads, "As has been published in social media on December 8, 2024, regarding the debut of VTuber under the name Banana, the company sincerely apologizes for any discomfort or commotion caused. Following internal discussions with management team and legal department, the company has taken constructive feedback and criticism from public into account in order to improve. Based on the discussion, following decision is made. 1. The debut schedule for VTuber project under the name Banana will be postponed indefinitely. 2. VTuber project under the name Banana will be rebranded as Pim and Banana. 3. All content of project under the name Pim and Banana will solely be on YouTube Kids platform as decided on the original plan. 4. The main host of the channel will be Pim, and will be referred to as the babysitter or guardian, who will provide guidance and direction for various recreational activities, such as singing, doing homework, drawing, and more. Virtual Zevin Co., as an organization which engage in the production of media and online entertainment activities, would like to affirm our continuous commitment in listening to feedback and criticism from public and adjusting our content to align with guidelines that brings benefit together with comfort to the public. We will continue to operate in a manner that does not contravene with any ethical or legal regulations. We are thankful for the continuous support for our organization, and we hope to be able to continue to provide quality entertainment for everyone. Thank you once again for your continued support and valued feedback. Virtual Zevin Co., the 10th of December, 2024. For me personally, I have an astronomical amount of concerns. The first one is the naming of the child VTuber by the name of Banana. Maybe my head's in the gutter, but putting on my little tinfoil hat here, I will never know the intention behind the naming of the VTuber. The thing is, in this day and age, we typically culturally know that the fruit banana has connotations towards a specific body part that implies something a little bit more suggestive. Another thing too is with the recent rise of the anime DanDan. This is a little DanDan spoiler right here, so big spoiler warning. Skip to the timestamp here that my editor Impact will slap on the video if you want to avoid the DanDan spoiler. But there is a reason as to why I'm talking about DanDan right now. So spoiler timestamp. Okay. So getting into the spoiler, if you guys have seen DanDan or you don't care about it being spoiled, basically DanDan is about a high school boy called Okarun, and he gets involved in a bunch of aliens and ghosts, basically. And the aliens want his banana, basically his male body part, but they accent it in a way where they keep saying banana like that, like banana. That's how they say it in the anime. So I don't know if this is also a play or a joke referencing DanDan. If it is, that is again, extremely messed up because the exact connotation in DanDan is that these aliens are looking for that body part so they can reproduce. So why does a VTuber of this age have that sort of connotation? Again, maybe my head is in the gutter. So DanDan spoiler over. Couldn't have any other fruit being chosen that doesn't have some sort of suspicious connotation, like an apple or grapes. Neither of those, raspberries, blueberries, from my understanding, there's no weird connotation there that a banana could provide. It could be a cultural thing because, again, I'm from the US, right? I've been to Thailand once, but I don't know if there's a different reference there for fruits and stuff like that. That is the first red flag. The second red flag is, again, the ethics of having a 9-year-old engage in entertainment work, even in acting or being in a family vlog. We all know, with all the accounts coming out of all the child actors, you know, the quiet on set, etc., right? We historically have known that child actors have been treated extremely poorly or even been manipulated and taken advantage of by the adults in that space. The same thing with family vlogging. There's so many accounts now. Now these children are finally aging up into adults and they can come out and speak on their own experience. And wouldn't you know, they aren't having a great time. So again, ethically speaking, from the perspective of child entertainment and children being used to produce media, I am not a fan of that. I don't think that it could be really done in a way where the child's best interest is at play. And that's the thing at the end of the day, right? You should always have the child's best interest. You should always put the child number one because they are a child. I don't think in a VTubing case, a child's best interest could be maintained when there is the aspect of entertainment, when there is money that could be made from this, right? That always will put the parent in a position of wanting to potentially use the child to make more money at the child's detriment. I am not a fan of family vlogging where the child is being shown, because at the end of the day, I don't know if the child's best interest is being kept. And you may argue, oh, but like there's a babysitter guardian that's going to be on there as well. Come on. But like, just because there's somebody there moderating doesn't mean that the child could still not be taken advantage of. Same thing with family vlogging. The parent is literally there in the video and the children will turn 18, get older, they'll come out and make their own videos and statements about their experience, and they were never good. They never liked it. Again, it's not every single case, but it happens more often than not. And in my opinion, it's too much of a risk that adults in that space are putting on the child. Because again, somebody of that age cannot consent to the likeness of their image being used. They don't know what it's going to entail. They don't have the matured prefrontal lobe to understand that, hey, I need to watch what I say because potentially like things that I've done can be clipped out of context, whatever, and then people can post it and make fun of me, that the things that I say will then follow me for the rest of my life. Kids are not capable of such forward thinking that far into the future. They're not capable of understanding that. Another issue that I have with this is, who is watching this content? Who exactly is the target audience for a child VTuber? Let's be real. Like, be for real with me right now. Do you think it's going to be other kids? It does say that they will be on the YouTube Kids platform. Do you think they're going to be other kids? Or do you think it's going to be adults with very suspicious intentions? Again, be for real with me right now. Again, we have quiet on set, the stuff that's come out. Who is truly the intended audience of this future debut child VTuber? Come to your own conclusions. But I do not have faith that it's only going to be people of their age demographic watching. And by the way, I also don't want to hear, oh, what if the kid really wanted to be a VTuber? Kids want things and they shouldn't have what they want, okay? When I was 9 years old, I really wanted light up Skechers, okay? Like, clearly at my age now, I don't want light up Skechers. If I was a 9-year-old, okay, and you let me get a tattoo, I would have gotten Sleeping Beauty, okay, tattooed on my face, if you let me. Like, when I was 9 years old, I wanted to eat the entire Costco-sized container of chocolates from around the world. And I did. And then I got like 3 cavities, okay? So just because kids want things doesn't mean you should let them have it. Because again, kids are not capable of making fully fledged decisions and understanding all the consequences that can come from it. And finally, content creation is such a vile job to do in terms of the social aspect of it. You experience so much hate and vitriol from people online. And I know they said, oh, you know, we're going to filter the chat messages. We're going to protect the child from viewing the social media. You really think the kid isn't going to, at some point, snoop on Google? Like, you really think they aren't going to snoop on there and then see some weird edit that some like 65-year-old neckbeard is going to make? Like, and they're going to be like, oh, mom, what's this? The way you can protect your kid from all of that hate and vitriol that will come with being an online creator is by not making them into an online creator in the first place. I rambled a long time about that, but I do not see how producing a 9-year-old VTuber could be in any way in the best interest of the child and protect them. I cannot see how that can happen. People are in the same boat as me. Here we have Kinky Mint writing, the 9-year-old VTuber should enrage all of us. Not the child, but the adults supporting it. Children should not be content creators, period, in any capacity. Chaotic Hellivan writes, and I hope I said that right. Nope, too young. See ya when you're 18. What site would even let them stream anyways? It's completely against the terms of service, and if anything proves children under 18 shouldn't be on social media because no actual adult is going to sit in a stream with a 9-year-old. Anyone that brought up child actors, we all saw the effing special about Nick on HBO. We are not having some PDF dudes floating around chat talking to this kid. If YouTube, Twitch, X, TikTok, Facebook, Insta, any other social platforms write off this shit, we have to question them as a whole. And Kinky adds, I'm just confused why they would need a effing Twitter if it's for kids their own age. Because again, who is the target demographic? You're not allowed to be on Twitter unless you're 13 or over. You're not allowed to be on Twitch unless you're 13 or over. And Chaotic adds, to invite adults and get attention. We seriously don't need to see the Nick Studios show up in the VTuber space only for it to end up completely effed up. It's like I get it for movies, you have to have some child actors for the script and so on. But their parents should be involved directly with the producer and get final say. A 9-year-old VTuber seems like either some twisted ass parents or somebody else behind it thinking they're cornering the market. And 4am Doomscroller writes, I don't know what's weirder, the fact that a 9-year-old is a content creator, and again, the problem isn't the 9-year-old, it's the adults that decided this was a good idea, or the fact that there would be people watching a 9-year-old content creator. And Kinky says both. And some people, like King D, writes, it's no different to a child actor in my eyes. Hell, it's arguably safer. And Kinky says, if that is your take, however, it is not. People do really twisted things on here because the anonymity protecting them from most of their actions. So I would say more dangerous. And I agree. There's a lot of really great aspects of the VTuber community, the support of artists, etc., the community, and it's also definitely very screwed up. If you've seen some of my videos, you'll know. And the anonymity, I feel like, makes people act in even bigger extremes than they would if their face was on the line, their reputation was on the line. And people with anonymous accounts have said some pretty fucked up things. If there's a child VTuber, they're not going to be protected from this type of stuff. And then the CEO of Virtual Zevin, Hori07, goes on Twitter to answer some questions. So they write, Kid VTuber Project Q&A, feel free both in Thai and in English. Let's get on the same page a bit more. Now, I will only read the English ones because Google Translate is not working the translate feature is not working for the Thai quotes. And also I'm just worried about like potential nuances maybe not coming through due to translations. And because half of this is in English, I'm just going to read the English ones. So here we have Lucky VT writing, a little child should not be a VTuber, period. You cannot protect them 100% from the internet while having them as a talent. They should never be a VTuber online, regardless of what measures may be taking place. And Hori says, I appreciate the opinion, but isn't it possible that you want to wait and see how things go? I personally do not. Please protect the child. I am not sure how you have seen this before. I'm not willing to blow everything down specifically as safety of a child. And Lucky says, no, this is not something you wait out and see what happens. Once again, you absolutely cannot protect that child from the internet, especially in this godforsaken community. As I've said, that child should not be a talent, full stop. You will just ultimately run your agency to the ground because of this. So Kaneko writes, and this is a very, very long, fleshed out thread. 1, do you people genuinely believe because you keep them with a guardian that they will be safe? So yeah, I'm going to give you a TLDR. 2, what was the intention of choosing such Oshi marks? Again, a baby bottle and a banana. And by the way, if you don't know what an Oshi mark is in the VTuber community, it is basically like emojis that you use to represent your Oshi, who is your favorite VTuber. So when it's a baby bottle and a banana, come on, bro. What do you expect? 3, or what's the big idea with the marketing the VTuber as its, quote, main selling point being a 9-year-old real child VTuber? It plays out as predatory and exploitative. 4, why not give her a stylized chibi-esque model instead of a generic lolly one, which will draw in weirdos no matter how much you try to avoid that? And that it has been observed many times, no matter what type of VTuber, you will eventually be exposed to smexualization. So point 5, do you basically really expect this child to never see any public statements or, criticism about them? Option 1, you completely bar them from social media, which in that case, why they're a VTuber at all? Or point number 2, they can see it and the child might sneak in their own private browsing time and see some really questionable stuff. And their final sentiment is that kids do not belong on the internet, not as a VTuber, not as a content creator. They just do not belong anywhere on the internet. And Hori says, 1, my apologize. I do not recognize that as a question, but a sarcastic being. 2, she has the concept of her favorite in banana milk that is really popular in Asia. And I am really sorry for her that people like you have the other idea about this. We will change that real quick. 3, it's not even for a market. Please use some time reading about this post. I believe I have said it somewhere. 4, she is right now having a chibi model. What do you mean by that? How do you even see that as lolly? Do you want to talk this out? I am genuinely worried right now. And by the way, I'm just saying, no matter how much this kid VTuber loves banana milk, you as an adult in this scenario should recognize the potential connotation weirdos would have with seeing a baby bottle and a banana and a child VTuber. Like, come on. Like, you as an adult are supposed to be the person that makes the choices to protect the child. No matter how much the child loves this banana milk, couldn't you be like, hey, let's pick your second favorite drink? Or like, what's your favorite food? What about your favorite animal? Right? You as the adult are supposed to make the decisions to protect the child. And you should use your adult brain, I hope you have one, to think about the potential consequences this child might experience at the hands of internet people. Maybe an hour after Hori started their Q&A, Virtual Seven put out another post writing concerns regarding talent in the company. Again, the original post is in Thai, and we have the second post in English that they wrote. In light of recent trends on social media concerning the case of kid VTuber from Virtual Seven Company, discussions have arisen regarding the involvement of a talent from the company in expressing opinions related to the aforementioned matter. The public has expressed opinions suggesting that the talent in question appears to endorse actions that align with the support of PDF. The company sincerely apologizes for allowing such an image to be associated with and presented to the public. The company would like to formally affirm that the talent has never engaged in any actions or created any content that falls under the aforementioned allegations. The content in question was solely intended as clickbait, material put on the internet in order to attract attention and encourage visitors to click on a link to a particular webpage. The company has conducted a thorough review to ensure this. Virtual 7 Co. hereby affirms the company's position as well as that of all talents under its management to act in full compliance with the law and uphold the ethical standards of society. The company takes responsibility by taking down those contents from the channel, the Quill Mom. Additionally, the company will suspend the use of social media, including Twitter and the Facebook page, for a period of 3 months from the date of this announcement, as well as refraining from creating any content on YouTube for an additional 1 month period from the date of this announcement. So all of that is in regards to this VTuber who is also under Virtual 7 called the Quillmon. So in one of their posts on December 8th, and we're going to read forward, they write, try changing from being a VTuber to just being a kid who opens a YouTube channel, plays the guitar, piano, and sings. Well, people come out and wonder. I wonder myself. Again, this is using Google Translate, so there could be some nuances that's missing, and I would love to hear any additional context if you do speak Thai. But I would still say 9-year-olds should not be creating content, point blank, period, no matter what type of content. Even if you're like opening Play-Doh, you're 9. Like, parents should not be employing their 9-year-olds like that. Why is my translate feature broken? And then they put out this tweet on December 10th, and it reads, it's quiet because the camp will post an announcement about the project adjustment. Now it's done. Thank you to the team for listening to the feedback and making improvements in the future. But this is a personal report. The camp is not involved. Online people can express their opinions, criticize as they see fit, such as you can't do this or that, or ask questions to seek solutions. And this is a blurred out Google folder with screenshots of stuff. And Quill writes, it is your right to express your opinion, quote, without trampling, slandering, or insulting anyone, end quote. But there is another type that is fun to talk about and difficult to do. Whatever you do, take responsibility for your own actions. When you try to force something on me, if something is wrong, we fix it. If something is not wrong, then blame is placed on us. We must accept responsibility. In this case, there are randomly selected cases. I'm not sure how many there are, 10 cases. I didn't count, I just drew them based on how spicy they were, like playing a gacha game. Quote, the police have accepted all the reports, end quote. If you're going to delete or escape something like that, then stop it. I see many people saying they want to meet each other and get to know what kind of person they are. We'll definitely meet again. It might be a month or a year, depending on the process. For anyone who's not sure if this is me or not, try reading your own message again. If it falls within the scope, for example, quote, I don't think it's appropriate. Don't do it because blah, 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 end quote. Something like this won't do. We'll just listen, but type. Anything that is said by, quote, making up stories, accusing or threatening, end quote, is a separate matter from criticism. I may have behaved badly in the past. I am ready to improve myself in the present, but I have never done anything, quote, illegal, end quote. I want you to know this. But of course, everyone can still criticize and give their opinions as usual. Don't be afraid to speak up if we are confident that it is a criticism or pointing out a real problem. Both we and the camp are ready to fix it. But you have to be patient because some things need to go through a meeting before first action can be taken. That is essentially their responsibility to all of this. I did not see their original clickbait, I suppose. But yeah, I can't see this original video or clickbait thing because they have since deleted it. But here's some more people on Twitter throwing in their 2 takes. We have Freddy Koiboy, who also goes by Akuchi, writing, this is child exploitation and it is disgusting. Shame on y'all at Virtual 7 for trying to get a 9-year-old into one of the most toxic careers ever. Completely putting aside that they're a 9-year-old. VTubing is extremely effing toxic. It is not a place for children. Let them go outside or play with dolls, not sit at a computer and make content for sickos, because that is exactly who is going to be watching this kid VTuber. Sickos, concerned people, and an extremely small pinch of regular people. I don't know how anyone with even half of a brain cell wants to willingly watch this shit. Even if you say the child will not have any contact with the platform or read any comments or chats, it's still dangerous, it's still scummy, it's still exploitative, and it does not mean that child will not be sexualized and used for PDF's enjoyment. Do better, Virtual Zevin. Akuji adds, also, I beg your finest effing pardon. Y'all are bringing a child into a group with multiple NSFW creators. No hate to anyone shown at all, but this is extremely unsafe, disgusting, and a stupid decision regardless of whether they have contact or not. And here we have a VTuber, and again, don't send hate to this VTuber because as far as my understanding, these VTubers probably had no idea that the group was attempting to debut a 9-year-old. But there's a VTuber with NSFW zone and another VTuber, again, you can tell, right? It says, warning, I post lewd. And again, none of these VTubers are at fault for doing NSFW content. I'm sure they probably had no idea that Virtual Zevin was trying to debut somebody. That's 9. And Lucky VT adds, just an FYI, the same agency that's debuting the 9-year-old VTuber has a talent in their agency that's strictly 18+, and the CEO gives like 0 Fs. So Lucky added some DMs between them and Hori. So it reads, this is from Lucky, can I also point out that while you're having this kid VTuber project in the works, what about the fact that a VTuber who is affiliated with your company publicly is an 18+ account? You're not protecting that child very well if this VTuber is an 18+ person, is affiliated with your company while you're also signing up a 9-year-old as talent. And Hori says, have you seen how we separate everything? There are branches. It's not like Netflix, only whole Barbie, isn't it? And Lucky says, you cannot separate an adult who creates 18+ content and a 9-year-old VTuber in the same agency. Regardless of branches, they're still members of the same agency with the same management. Not only is this very wrong, it also creates massive safety concerns for the child. Hori says, different management. That is the whole reason why I want to proof this together with create a new space for children to participate VTubing activities. I'm a VTuber myself, been there, done there, several company. And Lucky says, I honestly don't care if you're a VTuber yourself. It doesn't take one to know that you absolutely cannot have a 9-year-old child in a VTuber agency, period, let alone in the same agency as an adult who has an 18+ account that minors are not allowed to interact with. As I've said, it creates safety concerns. And Hori says, if you don't care, why mention your carrier as a creator then? I was thinking we debated this through our experience. And Lucky says, it clearly shows who has more experience and common sense in this situation. Me. You'd think it's actually okay for a 9-year-old to be in the same agency and the same space as an adult who, I repeat, makes spicy content and has their accounts platforms restricted to 18+. And Hori says, can you please tell us the VTubers from us that you keep saying 18+++, besides an only called Miyabi? I would count experiences that only come together with grow and success if that's the case. And Lucky provides the VTuber's name and writes, I provided a screenshot above. I no longer wish to continue with this discussion with you as you clearly have no idea what you're doing. The safety concerns you're causing for this child and your other talent members. Please do not contact me anymore after this message. Good day. And they've blocked Hori. And here's what some commenters had to say. Turn Up Super writes, I'm a dad and holy shit, none of that is okay. VTubing aside, no child should ever seriously be a content creator. The internet is just too wild and you may as well be throwing them in front of traffic. This is just exploitation and should never be acceptable. And Akuji says this, yup. And Zara writes, has nobody learned when it came to family channels and child celebrities? Like even on TV, kids aren't safe. And streaming is like 20 times more intimate than TV. It's built around interactions and having free reign to say anything disgusting you want online about VTubers. Okay, I literally filmed this video like earlier today, and then I spent the last 2.5 hours filming another video, and in that time, an update cropped up. So let me go and run this through you guys. So Virtual Zevin official posted their final announcement about Project Kid VTuber. In English, it reads, regarding the next direction of the Project Kid VTuber Banana. As appeared in the social media from December 8, 2024, regarding the launch of the VTuber under the name Banana, the company would like to sincerely apologize for causing everyone to feel uncomfortable with what happened. The company are still collecting opinions, both opposing and agreeing, as well as opinions that will benefit all project participants. The company has answered the questions that public still had through the company's representative in the name of the CEO, and the company has discussed the problems in detail and will adjust the operating guidelines of the company and its future projects. Company would like to inform. Cancelled Project Kid VTuber Banana. Virtual 7 Co., as an organization producing media and online entertainment activities, would like to confirm that the project under the name Banana was born from the intention of creating a safe space for VTubers that is open and suitable for all genders and ages. The company clearly stated again that although all plans have passed legal examinations, we will continue to listen to the opinions from public and find ways to resolve any dispute and criticism. This is done in order to be in line with guidelines and allow us to create content that benefits and gives comfort to the public. We will continue to operate without violating any moral or legal principles. Please consider this announcement as the final update and adhering to this situation. Take this information as the final update for this predicament. Any content of criticism that is inconsistent with this latest update, the company would like to apologize in advance, but will no longer respond in any way to avoid misunderstanding or continuous exploitation of this issue for personal gain. Thank you again for your support, and thanks for all your comments as always. Virtual7 Co. And if we look at the accounts, the account had originally retweeted the updates that came out, these ones, and they're no longer retweeted by that account. So at the end of the day, not a fan of cancel culture necessarily, but I'm really glad that this is a case where the internet has risen up and been like, hey, we're not down for this, and that the company has responded accordingly. At the end of the day, in my personal opinion, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below while being respectful as always, right? Because again, it's not the kid's fault. But I don't think that a child belongs in the entertainment space. Again, with movies, it is a little bit more understandable if like the parent is heavily involved, because some scenes you just need a child, right? Like, I don't know, Home Alone, right, was about a kid. But as a VTuber, no, that is not the case whatsoever. And there is in no scenario, in my opinion, where a 9-year-old needs to be a VTuber. Because genuinely, again, and I will ask this again and again, who exactly are you appealing to? Who exactly is a target demographic for this 9-year-old VTuber? Fill in the blanks as you will. So again, would love to hear your comments down below in the comment section. As always, I have an Etsy shop if you do want to check out. I hadn't plugged it for a really long time, but I forgot about it. I'm gonna be real. But I sell emotes, overlays, stuff like that on there. I also have a coffee in which I offer that stuff for free. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So I hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.